And we're back with the dozen system. Automated bets. This is version 3. We already populated a few spins. We're going to play live here. And we'll see what happens. So we can see the last three. D1, D2. And the last three landed in third dozen. So we'll wait for a win before we jump in. You can see right now we are using the aggressive setup. And if we were playing right now, it'd be scary considering the balance here. You get an 18. So I think we'll hop in. We're just going to go for a quick and easy session. I just want to show the improvements made to the tool. Sorry, I just thinking a lot here. So we got second and third dozen we're looking for. We get a 36. So we're looking to get a couple back to back right here. And we succeed. So remember, we start placing bets on the 26 spin. Win here would be great. I really. So we lost. Really debating because I just went on chip size with my bankroll. And with this aggressive setup, I'm not really looking forward to a few losses in a row. So we should be at a 180 bet. Hopefully we get this one. We get a 22. Still showing a second and third dozen. I'm gonna just do this for now. Protect some of our profits. for that reason. So we got 0. Let's see the suggestion. The same thing. We rebet, double, add a chip. Looking for the second and third dozen here. That's beautiful. And avoid 0 in the first dozen, and we're laughing, and we got another. I should have maintained my 30 cent on each dozen. I'm just checking here now. We're gonna sit this one out. And 16. So 21, 15, 16. Where are we at now? It's okay. So we would have been on second and third again. So this is 2 in a row that we missed. And that would have been a hit. We would have been walking out here. Okay. If we get a hit here, I will end the video. I got some things going on in the background. I'm just gonna try to get a hit and quit. I don't really want to go into a big progression, but if we have to, we will. So 34. And one more and we can quit. And let's look here just to see. So overall, the sheet was at a pretty low win rate, but it's starting to claw back now. It's pretty much where it's expected to be running at, probability wise. And we just got another hit. I just noticed I only put 20 cents on each dozen there, but that's fine. So 66.63 with how many bets? 18 bets. That's pretty good. The sheet overall, if we had been playing how we were supposed to, following, and if we played every bet, we would have been up 18 units of 50. I guess of 30, sorry, cents. And we got a 7 here. That would have resulted in a loss, I believe. Yeah. I just wanted to see if we win here, and then after we'll take a look at the improvements that Came with the update of the system. As you can see, we got a darker theme now, which is easier on the eyes. It looks better. There's a few other things I'd like to show. So, as you can see here, would be that's 2 losses in a row. Let's see if the bet would change. It didn't, so we would be on second and third right now. On our third level of a progression. So with this, I got an aggressive setup here. As you can see, we're jumping quite a bit from our original bet. Our original chip size right here, this would be a $9 bet with this aggressive system. And that's why you can see, because we were at 18 units here, so after this win, it brought us up to 25 units. So overall, starting with a 30-cent chip size on each dozen, with a total bet of 60, using this progression, we've seen max depth of 5. That's when we first started. We weren't playing there, but you can see it made it to level 5, which would have been a $27 bet, but it recovered, and within the total of 21 bets, we would have made 750 with a low of 37.80. But if you properly have your bankroll sized, it shouldn't be an issue. It could be a lot worse, but like I said, this is the most aggressive setup that I've tried with this system. The reason for it is simply because we want to get in and get out, and when we don't want to just be going up 1 unit at a time. This, as you can see here, if we update our numbers, we got a 21, we hit a 0, and then it hit a 36. Oops. So this is 0 and 36. And then we'll take a look at the adjustments made in the update. So here you can see on the 0, the bet did change to D1, D2, and we would have lost here with the 36 because of the D1, D2, but you can see now with this 32 coming, we got a D2, D3, so with the 32 and a win, like this is almost the perfect scenario with the progression we have. We want to lose twice and win the third time and not go over 5 levels of progression unless you had the bankroll for it. But as you can see here, this was another 450 bet or chip size with a $9 bet, which brought us up from 750 to 960 for 32 units of 30 cents. And right here, D2, D3, and we get a 27, so that would be another win. I should be playing, but I'm thinking too much, and I don't like not having absolute focus. I figured I'd try to show you that I do use this. This is my go-to right now. I've been building this slowly. I'm only going for 2.5 to 5% a day. Started with $50 a week ago. I missed a couple days because we were up and I was busy. So there's a few days, but my surplus was there to cover those days, and I would try to make them back on the next day that I played, whether it be 1 session or 2 sessions. Right now, I'm only playing like 1 session. I should increase the volume, but I've just been busy. But I will be attacking this and trying to build the roll up. So like I said, right here is an ideal situation for our progression. It's not always going to pay us, we do have to be careful with this aggression. But perfect scenario is we lose these two. You can see our bet remains the same, which isn't always going to be the case. But we know it hit the first dozen, the last two spins. The chances of it hitting it 3 times in a row are pretty slim. It can happen. So if we were to get a win here, let's see where we would end up, and then we'll take a look at the rest of the sheet. So we got kicked off for inactivity, and we actually lost. So here, this would be, for our small bankrolls, this would be a scary moment using this progression. But really nothing to worry about. We'll see. Our bet would change, so we need to avoid the third dozen. And we're using 1350 chip size on each dozen, so it would have been on the first and second for a $27 bet. So let's see what we get. And we get a 17, which is perfect. So if I had to continue playing this, we would have been up a decent amount. I'm kind of upset that I didn't, because it would have been nice for the video and nice for my bankroll, but I like to, like, I just said 2 sentences and I only have 4 seconds to make my bet. So, you know what I mean? It's just not very smart for me. If I were to just play through for a session, I'm going to avoid talking and just let the gameplay speak. So as you can see here, we would have been up $12 on this session, and a total of 29 bets with 40 units of 30 cents, which is pretty fucking good. You see our win rate dropped, which isn't very common with this sheet. I don't normally see it under 60 right now. You can see this is why it's good to have an aggressive progression sometimes, because it will pay you. So let's see, let's fill these in. We'll put in two more spins, or one more spin. We'll see what happens in 50 spins and 30, and let's see where we're betting right now. So those two, I'm assuming, would be a loss, because it's D1, D2. We'll see when it updates here. D1, D2, yeah, so the last two were losses, just like when we were betting D2, D3. We get a 17, so we would have been betting D2, D3, and 17 would have gave it to us. And that would have been a win. So as you can see, there's kind of a pattern here. You would lose 2, lose 3, lose 2. But if you look at our run in total, we are making these huge jumps because of the progression. So our progression, just to show you with this particular setup, 60 to 180. See, we're tripling our bet here. Then you'll see we're going 5x our bet, which sounds crazy, but if you can get to this point and win, and only here we're just tripling what our 5x was. And same with this one, we're going 9 of this. So it's pretty aggressive compared to just the regular triple martingale. Suggested $120 in the bankroll. That's why I kind of cooled off, because with my bankroll that I had, it was, I think it was 78, 88 we started with. Yeah, I wasn't really willing to get to this territory, because once we get here, we wouldn't have enough to cover the next bet. We'd either have to settle for a loss or break even. I'm not really for that. But if I could get to these levels, and you know, also, I don't know if I showed this before, we can take less risks here. This is going to drop that down. You see, this is more safe. And then just to show you, starting with a 10-cent unit, in this sample we have 50 spins. You can see we still have the same number of units, but it's only units of 10 cents now. And we still have 47. So 470 with 32 bets. So for you low rollers, like it shows here, showing 72% or 72%, $72 bankroll here. But all that's needed to get to the level 5 is 40 bucks. It's when you get down here that things will change. But like I said, this is just an aggressive progression. Normally you would see with the tripping gale, 80 bucks would get you to level 6. And through my testing, you will get past level 6, but it's very rare. The most you'll see is probably level 5, and if you do get past level 5 to level 6 and then you win, you start over. So if you can cover level 5, you're pretty good, unless you're pushing your luck. Level 6, if you have that covered, then you're just pretty much smooth sailing. So let's show some of the new things in the sheet. I'm going to put this back to what it was. So we updated our trend chart. We're now using exponential moving averages opposed to simple moving averages. The difference is it just reacts quicker to recent movements in the chart. It's not much of a difference, but it does improve some accuracy where it will react quicker to recent events. Um, just overlay of the bet score chart here. You can see it just looks nicer. Um, we now have, so this is our results chart. You can see we're climbing, but now we added this progression depth chart. So this will show us through gameplay or simulation how many times a level hits, and this gives us information moving forward of where we can prepare ourselves and what we're expected to see. So it's handy to have. So you can see in our sample that we have a 50 spins is once we hit the 5th progression level. So we lost 4 times and we've seen the 5th level in our progression. 2 times we've seen the 4th. And yeah. So this is handy to have. As you can see here in our results, this orangish line is our same thing, but it's showing up on our line graph. So if we click our graph, you can see here was 4. Go over here, this was 5, this is 2. So this does the same thing, and this was in the sheet, but just something a little extra. And we still have our loss level here. And what else? Oh, so to improve some accuracy, we did do some changes. Like I said, with the EMAs, we picked different periods, and we did some messing around with the suggestion and how it's calculated and what it's using. I won't really reveal that. If you have questions about that, you can hit me up. But that's basically it. I think that's what we call a win in session. Like I said, this win rate is kind of low from other tests and other sessions I've played, but as you can see, it didn't affect our profit. And I would probably assume that within another 25 spins or so, this would start to come up. It just seemed like in this part right here, we were sticking to a bet which paid us, but then we made a switch. And let's see why. So we got 40 spins. And if we look at our results here, I mean, if we look at our trend, 40. We were above the moving averages, it came down below, and now we're going flat here. So that could have caused some confusion for the algorithm. Come down and then pop back up. So around this area at 40, you can see D1, D2 is actually the leader. It's actually the one that was winning the most. So that's why. And D2, D3 was losing the whole time. So that's why when we see in our trial here, D2 start popping up. I mean, D1, D2 start popping up because we finally got to the threshold where our trend chart is above. So it suggested that. And then you can see when those bets were made, it dropped back down. And then you can see it corrected itself. It recognized the pattern. And we got 2 back-to-back wins there. So after that, you can see it stopped on a dime, turned the other way. That's where our losses came in. Right here, but very quickly, it recognized what it was supposed to do. It suggested D1, D2, and we got a win. And then you can see this choppiness you can avoid, or you can put faith in the chart because it will recognize and it will suggest, but it doesn't always mean you're going to get the result right away. Especially when it goes, what is this? Let's say that's 36. So 2 spins, it goes one way. 2 spins, it goes the other way. 3 spins, it goes the other way. You know, the chart will do its best to show what's happening. The logic will find which ones it wants to bet using this. But as you can see with these line graphs, things aren't instant. It's not going to just recognize from one because there's 2 moving averages that it has to react to. It's probably boring you talking about that, but I just want you guys to make sure that you understand that this is pretty sophisticated and it works. But that's about it. Like I said, if you have proper bankroll management and you use this, you should have winning sessions like this with a low win rate. We still pull off the significant amount of units won using this 30-cent chip to start on each dozen. Well, that pretty much wraps up the video. I appreciate everybody that watches it. If you got any questions, drop it in the comments. If you like the video. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you're interested in the sheet, hit me up on Discord. I'll post it. I'll put it in the description. You can just hit me up, DM me, say, hey man, I want this sheet, and we can talk. Like I said, I am charging for them, but they're pretty inexpensive. And if you start with a low bankroll and you start using it, it won't take you long to get that money back. And if you have any questions while having the sheet, I will be there to troubleshoot anything. I'm not just gonna sell you the sheet and then ignore you. If you have questions, you need to understand something, you need a tutorial, you need anything changed, you want to switch up the progression, you want to do whatever, even if you want to add custom bets. Like instead of dozens, we can do columns. I can hook it up for you. So let me know what you think, and maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe today I will go and create this exact same system but for columns, because I know a lot of people prefer columns over dozens. If that's something you want to see, let me know in the comments. But anyways, have a blessed Saturday. Stay safe and see you in the next one.